half of my order got canceled. So my latest Azure haul did not go as planned, and it was a major letdown. I kind of knew maybe it could be a problem, but I was kind of hoping for the best. So let's get into it and talk about what happened. I'm going to share with you the 3 items I picked up at Azure. This is really a problem for me because I drive an entire hour one way to pick up our haul. So to pick up only 3 items is really a waste of a drive. Now, I was a little ambitious with my order. What I wanted to do was can, freeze dry, a whole bunch of things, and I put in a really big order on 1 item, and that's where I made the mistake. So what exactly happened? Half of my order got canceled. 80 pounds of apples did not ship. Now, if you are new to Azure, don't worry. It doesn't happen all the time, but it is something you need to be aware of. So that's why I'm on here. I just want to share my experience. I will continue to shop at Azure Standard. I love their food. It's great quality. I've never had issues that make me want to stop shopping there, but it can be frustrating sometimes. So let's talk about that so you're not surprised if it happens to you. First off, let me share with you what I got. Be very, very fast. As always, every time I do a pickup, I don't always pick up every month. That's the nice thing with Azure Standard. You don't have to pick up every pickup or every order. You can do it at your convenience. But every time I do, I make sure I grab at least 1 thing of butter. I love this unsalted butter. It has a higher fat content and it makes our food just so much more flavorful, and it's really clean. So I have one out. It comes as a brick. This is the equivalent of, if you're used to shopping at a grocery store, buying the sticks of butter. This is the equivalent of 2 sticks of butter. So don't make the mistake my husband made. He makes this delicious barbecue sauce brine thing, and it's 1 stick of butter. Well, he took this as 1 stick of butter and it was super buttery. So this is 2 sticks of what you're used to. I get this every month and I love it. All the baking with it. Then let's do this last. I've already dug into this. I ordered 50 pounds of carrots. It is kind of cooling down here, so I really want to ramp up my pressure canning. And I want to be putting these carrots away. If you saw last week's video, you saw that I've already begun doing this. So I bought 50 pounds of carrots. I was being super ambitious on this order. I did put my eggs all in 1 basket, but I don't know, I was really excited for this time of year, putting food away. So maybe it was a good thing my apples didn't ship so I could focus on the carrots, but we'll get there. Okay, and the last thing I ordered is these beeswax granules. So I want to start making candles, not to sell or not to give away or anything, but I really just want to learn the skill of candle making. And I found this kit online, and I'm going to order it soon. I haven't ordered it yet, but I just wanted to make sure I could get my hands on some beeswax and put that away. What I'm hoping is just maybe we have some candlelit dinners. I can teach the kids another skill, learn a skill myself, and I don't know, something fun to do. Let me know if you've made beeswax candles and if you have any tips for me, because this will be my first time doing it. This is 5 pounds, and I don't know, we'll see how far it goes once I get to that. So lastly, let's talk about the part of the order that did not go through. All right, so I ordered 2 different types of apples. Apples have just come back in stock for Azure Standard, and I think everyone's really excited about it. I've been using them for maybe 2 years, and I will say this is the first season where the apples have been gone for several months. So I think people are starting to discover how delicious they are, which maybe I shouldn't be talking about how great they are, because y'all keep eating them. I'm just kidding. Okay. So I had ordered 2 different types of apples, 40 pounds of each, and I planned on making apple jelly, applesauce. I don't even know if we have, I ended up having to get some cheaper stuff at the store because we've gone through all of our cans. But I want my own. I love it. It's so much cleaner. It's more affordable for me to do, and it's a great skill, again, for me to practice and teach the kids. So what happens with your Azure order? When you're looking, if you go on their website, I have a link below. If you don't have an account, you can sign up. There's no obligation to buy anything. It does give me a credit when you do buy something, but there's no credit if you don't. So don't worry if you just want to go check it out. Get on their email list. You'll see their sales. They'll email them to you, all that good stuff. You can kind of just peek around. So when you get on their website, type in an item like flour or carrots or something. Right now, As of this video, I've checked, there are no apples available. So you won't be able to see that. But if you type carrots, you click on the one you want, it's going to give you an inventory like number. How many are available? If there's none available, it'll say out of stock. If there's none available but some coming soon, it will tell you the date. Hey, these are coming December 1st, but they won't ship with your order. So they're very upfront about what is happening. But if you see like 20 available, 5 available, like a very low number on a like high order item, I would say apples, butter sometimes, you'd be surprised what things go. You have to know if there are 100 people with that in their cart, only 24 of those items are going to ship. And because Azure allows you to keep changing your order all the way up into the cutoff time, these items don't show if they're in people's carts or not. So that's a little frustrating because you can think that you're going to get that item. Even if you do check out and you think, okay, I've checked out that item, it does not check out until it ships. What this allows, I understand what they do. It would probably need a super sophisticated system to keep up with it. But what this allows is when your loader goes to load your physical truck with your items, they are also doing a quality check on that item. So they're going to pull out the carrots and they're going to say, these carrots aren't molding. They're not mushy. They're great quality. Yes, we can ship these. Now, shipping things, can get delayed or whatever, and the food may not arrive perfectly sometimes. You just need to call them and let them know. But I really have had very few problems with receiving items. But what this means for my apples was, if my loader was behind 30 other orders that had those apples, my apples weren't going to make it on. They were going to get canceled. So I kept checking. I did everything I was supposed to do to make sure those apples were available, but at the time of loading, they just did not make it on. In my case, there were no other apples for me to see last minute. Hey, those look like they're getting low. Let me switch to apples that are more readily available. Maybe have 100 available or 200 available. There were no other options. So for me, I knew there was a chance it was going to get canceled. I was just kind of hoping at least one would make it through, but it did not. If you have, let's say, you're stocking up your canned good inventory, maybe you don't necessarily care if it's pinto beans, garbanzo beans, or whatever. You just have the black beans, let's say, in your cart, and you see that there's only 5 going to ship. What I would do is I would probably go ahead and pick another bean or another item. If you have the funds and you don't mind buying both, you can keep both on your cart, and if one cancels, it just doesn't ship. But for me, I didn't want to make a giant cart, and if all of those items shipped, I would be spending, $800-900, which is not something I like to do for the month unless I've pre-planned that. So I was taking the chance on knowing this was going to be a small order or a decent size order that I was prepared for. I hope everything I said made sense. Again, I will keep shopping there. I just want to put it out there, something if you're new to Azure Standard or you've experienced it yourself and you're trying to figure out what happened, that's basically the system is until your truck gets loaded, that item is not necessarily yours. Look at how many is in the inventory. If you see thousands and it doesn't get loaded, then something else happened. But if you only see, a few, most likely someone else got to it before you when the truck was being loaded, or maybe there was a problem with the product and they didn't want to ship it to you, which I think is very fair because I don't want to get something that is going bad. If you have any questions about an order that hasn't worked out for you or how to order it, please just leave it in the comment section. I would love to help you. I really do love helping and getting your family the best food possible. Ask me any questions and I'll do my best to help you. Smallest, however, yep, I think so, but we'll see how it goes next time. As always, I will see you next week.